So guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, today class is all about Service Cloud in Salesforce. See, Service Cloud itself a vast topic. You might have heard about Service Cloud consultant certifications because one of the main features in Salesforce is Service Cloud. Service Cloud. Before we get started with Service Cloud, how many of you are using online portal like Amazon, Flipkart? Nobody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So suppose you're buying some product from Amazon. Okay. You order something, but you are facing some issues. For example, I have ordered many items here. Suppose if I have an issue with my order, maybe the product which I have received is not good or it is getting delayed to deliver. As a customer, as an end user, I might have different issues. If you are an end customer, what you will do immediately? If you are using some online portal like this and you are facing some trouble with your product,
Initially, we'll raise the request to reach out the customer.
you will raise a request.
Yes.
What request and how do you raise it? Suppose if it is an Amazon or Flipkart or something.
Or else if we can cancel the order and raise the request to the customer care, stating that it's about the problem of our product.
Okay,
which
you
we
will be
receive.
cancel the order. Okay, all right. How you will contact the customer care team?
A mail or contact to the customer care number through.
Okay, all right, Ramesh. Guys, it is not only Ramesh I'm talking with. We have 12 participants in this meeting. I would expect everyone to be interactive and to make the session a useful one. See, at the end of the day, this session is going to be a knowledge sharing. We are not going to take anything new or anything special. Everything is from the practical life in the day to day what we are facing. So we are going to see how Salesforce is making the life easier for the customer as well as the customer care team, especially how it making life easier for the post-sale activities. Post-sale means after you have sold your product or sold your services, how you are maintaining your customers and how you are maintaining their queries. That is very important to retain them as your customers and very important to scale up your business, right? So let's see how Salesforce is helping them, helping the business people to handle the customers and their queries effectively. So that's why I just want to check with you, like suppose if you're using some online portal like Amazon or Flipkart, how you will raise a query to those people. As Ramesh mentioned, yes, of course, if I'm facing an issue, I will reach out to the customer care people, right? But in what mode you will do? Others, other than Ramesh,
We can directly call them.
you will call them.
Yes.
Good. Yes, that is a
We
one
have
channel. We will
a
using phone.
register. We have a register phone number. So by
Mhm.
using that, they can use that product. What is the order number, and
Okay.
all these things they can track and they can
Good.
help us
Good.
on that.
So you will give the order number and everything, and you will call them. Okay. Good.
Yes.
Others,
Chat.
any other? Yeah, good. Chat is a good option. You will chat with them because even if you look at Amazon, you look
Yes,
at the
you can
customer
chat.
service, there are options here, it, and there are some more. See, either I can contact them through a chat or through a phone here. Similarly, there are multiple ways you can have a connect with the customer care. Like they might have some web forms. Using that web form, you can do, or even you can write an email even if it is Amazon or someone, still you can write an email to them saying that Mike, you can mention your query, what is your issues and all, right? Isn't it? So there are multiple way always there for the customer to reach out the services. In Salesforce, we have multiple channels available in Service Cloud. Let's Google it. Service Cloud, Salesforce channels. See guys, as I already mentioned, this 1 hour is not at all enough for you and for me to cover the entire Service Cloud, because Service Cloud itself a vast topic. So what from this session, what we are going to take is we are going to see the very important and the real-time usage of the Service Cloud and some of the features. The rest of the portions, we are going to see them as a knowledge sharing. We will be giving you the case studies, as well as we will be giving you and guide you to go through what are the options available in the Service Cloud. So you have to explore those other features. Let's see what is Service Cloud. See, here we have a customer. The customer has some query. That query will reach. He will write a SMS, or he will write a chat, or he will do the phone call. He will be using any of the channels here. It can be a social media, communities, website, chat. It can be anything. Okay. Using any one of the channel, this customer will reach us. Okay. Once the customer reaches, his query or her query will captured in our portal at the back end. Within Salesforce, we will capture that information. Then one of the customer care representative, what he will do, he will be assigned with that particular case. In Salesforce, we call them as a case. You will raise a case with your object. The customer care representative will be assigned on that case. He will work on that and he will send his solution to you. Let me give a quick demo how we can configure that. I mean, how I already have configured that and how it working. For example, if let's take I'm an Amazon customer care representative. So, sorry, I'm an Amazon customer. I'm an Amazon customer. I want to reach out to Amazon to know about Amazon business. Okay, there are options called browse help topics here, right? Which in Salesforce we call them as knowledge articles. Okay, this knowledge article will help the customer care representative to handle the customers effectively. For example, if I'm writing an email, I'm going to write an email to Amazon customer care representative saying that I have Amazon customer care ID. I mean the support email ID. So what I will do, this is the ID I have configured in my mission, AJ Skill Dev. This is the support email ID. It is Amazon Business. More info. Hi, kindly help me with more info on Amazon Business. So I'm writing an email to this ID, which is a customer care ID with the subject and an email. I'm sending an SMS, sorry, sending an email. The moment I send the email, since it is the business email, within my Salesforce, what I have done is I have configured it. I show you how. So now what happened? You. So sorry guys about that. Okay, now we log in. Actually, what we have done, I just recall, we have sent an email to Amazon Care saying that we need a more information about Amazon, right? Let's see. Let's as a customer care representative, what I will do is I will go logging into Salesforce and I will go to Service Console. Service Console is the place. What happened? Somebody's chat. Guys, others, please put yourself on mute, except me. Okay. So I will go into the service console. Now I'll go to the case and I can see a case has been created. All that we my customer care, my customer is sent an email, but that email is converted as a case here, and I can see the more information about the case here. Kindly help me with Amazon Business, right? As a customer care, if I know what how to reply, I will reply immediately. Suppose I am new to the team, I don't know about Amazon Business. What I will do, I will be having a knowledge article. I will go and search for the knowledge article here. So with the help of the knowledge article, I will open it. I will come to know about Amazon Business. Okay, this is what Amazon Business. Maybe I can use this and copy this and will share with my customer. If you look at this console, see, it looks quite different. Rather than apart from other than the normal Salesforce window, if you see, whenever I open a subtab, the subtabs are open in the below bar. It's not opening in the new tab actually. Not opening like this. It is opening in the next small subtab. This actually helps the customer care people. I mean, the people at the back end who provide support to the customer to immediately switch. In that way, it has been designed. So what I will do, I will reply to him saying that hello Ashok. Greetings for the day. Please find below the required details. Thanks. That's it. Then I will send an email. So the email has been sent, and similarly, what you have sent via email is also being captured within this portal. Now let's go back to our inbox and see whether you have received an email. See, I have received an email from Amazon customer care. Select and see. Hello Ashok, greetings for the day. Please find the below required details, which will comes with my transcription, what the email I have sent, and I got a reply for the same. This is a one classic example, and this is the reference ID. Suppose if we reply on this email, let's see. Thanks for your support. I send an email back. Let me refresh. See, the email which the customer has sent is now captured immediately within this case. It because we are replying on top of the email. Since we are replying, it has some reference ID inbuilt with that email. It while Salesforce receiving the email, it will decode. I mean, it will understand this reference ID and it will update the corresponding case. This is one channel that how we are creating a case. We have one more channel like web form in Service Cloud. Let's see how that works. Guys, of course, I will let you know and I will help you to understand how we can configure this thing. First of all, I just want you guys to understand how the Service Cloud is helping the service team. I have a form here. Sorry, it should be web to case.
Ashok, just
Yes.
a second. I have one query. Just you replied just simply without changing the subject, right?
Yes, I'm sending without the subject, right?
Okay. If in case if you change the subject, it will not capture in that portal.
Yes, it's not about the subject. It's about the reference ID we are sending back.
Okay.
Okay, we have to make sure we are not disturbing the reference ID. Suppose
Okay.
if you are missing the reference ID and if you are removing the reference ID, right, the Salesforce will understand this is a new case.
Okay.
In general, what as advanced configuration, what they will do is we will not expose this reference ID in the subject. We will inbuild the reference ID.
Okay, we will
I will
capture
let you
only
know,
the
like
body
how
of
we
the
can
mail.
make this reference ID so that the people who are replying, right, they will not deleting that ref ID.
Okay.
Okay, this is we call as the case reference number. It represents
case reference. Okay.
Yeah.
And one more question also. Simply, it's
Yes.
like it's all about like the all of them will be categorized by based on our queries. We can get the details from that existing history. We will reply to the customers like that only, right?
Sorry, I don't get that. What is that existing data?
Suppose if we are requested for Amazon business, if someone's
Correct.
already requested the information like this, they will have the details like for Amazon business. They have a set of queries receiving like they need to send that this message like that.
Yeah, since they already have a detail about Amazon business, they are replying like that. Suppose if you ask the detail about your, for example, I'm creating a new case. Okay, I'm sending a new email to Amazon email, putting that order number. Some order number I'm randomly placing. Where is my order? Okay,
Yes.
I'm sending that email to Amazon customer care. Okay, now go to the case and let's see. Here, we have received this as a separate email. So what immediately the customer care will do is they will have the order number with them, right?
Okay.
They will just copy the order number and they will search in that portal. See, they will have an order number like this. They will search the details here. Then within the portal, they will have the information like orders and all being captured in the separate object called orders. Suppose if you are making orders, right? The order details will be there. Unfortunately, we don't have any record here. So we can see the record details here, and we from the object here, I can see the information. Then I will go to the case and I will reply to this email. See, this is the order. Then I will reply to him like, your order is on the way. I can send with more information. I'm just sending a informal email, but in generally the customer care people will do all the emailing stuff and they will do. Then I will receive an email. See, the Amazon business which I have shown you is I have to give an example for I have given that as an example for knowledge article. How the knowledge article actually helping the customer care people. We are going to see how we are going to configure the knowledge article. Suppose if we want to add one more articles, how we can do that. Those are things. In terms of configuration, we are going to see how we are going to convert the email into case and how we are going to route the case among the agents and how we are going to configure the knowledge article. Everything we are going to see. But before that, I'm just giving a demo of how this service cloud is helping the post sales services. All right. Any doubt, guys, so far? We have seen email to case and how the email to case is working. Any doubt in that?
Yeah, sure. For example, if the user is deleting that reference ID and sending us again the same question or corresponding to the same question, what happens? Like it's going to create a new case, right?
Okay.
Okay, so if that new case comes in and as admin or if we know the user is already requested the same question or related question, can we link that case to this case?
For example, I'm a customer and I'm sending two emails for the same queries. You're saying in that situation,
no.
What will happen?
No. For example, you reply to this question, and by mistake, when he is replying to the same email, unfortunately, he deleted the subject or the reference ID, which is in the subject. So he is deleting it in the subject field and keeping whatever he want. Like he may be
For example,
changing. Like,
see, this is the email I have received. I want to. I'm replying to this email, but what I'm doing is I'm deleting that subject. Is that
subject? Yes.
Here where I can see the subject. Okay. So this is your question. Maybe unwantedly delete the subject.
And putting something else. He need any.
I put something else.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sending just subject remove. Let's see how it comes. Whether it comes as a new email, I mean new case, or it is going to save in the existing case. I'm sending it. Message sent. Go to case. Let's open the existing case. Refresh it. Even you remove the subject, it will come. The reason is we have that reference that is inbuilt with that email, with the template. Since you are replied on the top of the email, it doesn't mean if you remove the subject, it will not get attached to the existing case. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Others, any queries in the email to case?
And sorry to interrupt you.
Yes,
like, can we see that built-in code? Like, if you want to see any reference code, can we see that?
Sorry, what is the reference code?
Okay, yeah. So if okay, let's think like the previous emails are deleted and we don't know what is the reference ID. So if you want to see the reference ID for this particular built-in reference ID, can we see that?
You're asking like the customer removed the reference code, but the customer care rep want to see the reference code. Is that your query?
Yes.
Yeah, customer care rep can get from the here, right? I mean, he has his case number with him, and he has all the emails, what and all he has sent. He can get from here. Everything it will be there.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I got
Okay.
it now.
See,
Thank you.
all the logs will be captured within the portal itself. What and all the communication he made, she made, everything will be there. Even if the customer care representative deliberately go and delete the emails or delete the case, it will be captured in the backend. When did he delete it? Why did he delete it? What time he deleted? Who deleted? Everything will be captured within the portal. So once the data entered the Salesforce, right, it will be tracked forever, for no matter of what. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's see how the Web2 case works. Web2 case is similarly like here I having a form, but in general the form will be looks like some website having the general form. Like if you look at our website, in our website we have a web form here. Similarly, every website will have some form like this. Okay. Here we have done some design and have made some color and graphics here, and it looks like this. But in my case, I just created this form from the Salesforce. I can use this form, but I can use this form in my website directly. Let's see how we can do that. Contact, let's say Ashok Raj, email ashok.aj@outlook.com, phone number, and I'm giving a reason like installation, which is like a technical case. Need assistance. Help me to install. Okay. On submitting, either you can show a success message or you can show or you can redirect this page. In my case, I just redirected to the AJ skill development. Okay. I have submitted the form. Now let's go to the case. Let me refresh it. If you see, a new case is created like need assistance. Subject need assistance, help me to install. But what happened, right? The moment the email, I mean, the case is received from our end, from Salesforce, it sent an auto response to him. Dear Ashok Raj, thanks for submitting your query, the case number and everything being sent. Let's see whether we have received that. So we have configured an auto response within Salesforce. So that email response, what will happen the moment the Salesforce receive the case, it will send an auto response to the email ID which we have mentioned in the form. If you look at here, I have received an auto response from Salesforce saying that thanks for submitting your question to us. Our executive will be contact shortly. Also, what we have done here is the moment the case is received, it is automatically get assigned to the technical team based on the based on the case reason. Since it is an installation, it is get assigned to the technical team, and then email will be sent to the technical team. Let me show you who is my technical team here. I think it is me. A mail has been received for the case order entry. Please click here new and respond immediately. Here, he is my technical person. He receives an email immediately whenever the case is created. It is automatically routed to this person based on the case reason. Similarly, if I am sending an email, if I am creating again Web2 form, Web2 case, the reason I'm putting here is feedback. Same email, let me give show.aj.com. I'm now selecting the case reason as feedback. I'm submitting the form. Now it's get redirected. Okay, fine. Now let's go to the case and see how the case is being captured. See, the case is captured here, and this case is now assigned to my business team. That based on the field I have chosen here. If it is a feedback, it goes to the business team. See, even for my business team, they are also having sending an auto response to this email ID. So look at that. I should have received an auto response. I had to receive. Okay. Then I think I have received it. Okay. Then that case is forwarded to my business team. Here my business team is, I think, this guy. Okay, the email template is I have put like you have received any opportunity like this. Okay, this is an email we have received. So how it works? See, you are submitting a form, and based on the form and based on the reason we have given, the case is assigned to two different teams. First, it went to the technical team, and second, it went to the business team. And not only that, it get assigned as well as the email has been sent to the particular user. I mean, maybe the customer care team or the queue, saying that you have received an email or you have received a case, please work on that case. So the people who are work on the case, they will do all the activities, then they will send a response on top of this. This is one such a way channel, like Web2 form is a channel, and email to Web2 case is a channel, and email to case is another channel, which we are using in a service cloud predominantly to engage the customer effectively. Okay. Any doubt in Web2 form? Web2 case. All that we are just submitting the form, that form itself creating a case, and that case is getting directed to the different team based on the response we received. Do you guys understand the concept? See, I have just explained the concept. I had to configure. I will let you know how to do this configuration and all. But before that, I just want you guys to understand the concept of Service Cloud, how the Service Cloud helps the business to engage their customer. Any doubt so far?
No.
Okay. Now let's see one by one how we can configure these things. First, let's go with the knowledge article. Okay. Knowledge article is something like helps the business. Like you can put these articles in your system so that whenever the customer care rep receives any response from the user, he can go ahead and search about that and help the business. Let's add a new knowledge article. Before that, let me get from Amazon. Even you can utilize this knowledge article. You can put it in your website. From your Salesforce to website, you can do that. That's something you, by using communities, you can do that. When you're attending the community session, you will come to know how we can do these things. Now let's contact the customer service. Here you go. In Amazon website itself, they have their knowledge article. Suppose if I want to update, let me update about Amazon Pay. It's such a big article. I don't want to do that. Amazon Prime. Now let's create a knowledge article about Amazon Prime. Just simply copy. And what you have to do is, first thing you have to do is go to setup, go to user. User is the place where you can see who are all the users currently have permissions. Somebody. If the customer sent an email like Amazon Business, we cannot find on the knowledge section what we can do. Sorry, Jagan, what is the question? The customer send an email just like Amazon Business, we cannot find on knowledge.
Yes, sir. If the customer send just like Amazon Business, we cannot know the Amazon Business query. Just like type in the knowledge section, we select the Amazon Business topic and just paste all the items to reply to the mail. If we cannot find in the knowledge section, what we can do?
Okay, I'm asking some question. What if the customer don't know what to reply? Is that your question?
No, yeah.
Suppose you are asking something, but that particular thing is not available within the knowledge article section. In that case, what he will do?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that is not something we have to care about that. That is something the customer care people have to care about that. Okay. As a Salesforce developer, what we can do is we can make a configuration for them. If they're not able to reply to the answers, they have to either they will refer their seniors or their super seniors. They will consult with them and they will reply to you.
Okay.
Okay. So this is something not our business. We are developers. We are not a customer care people. We are developers who configure the system for the customer care people. Okay. Now, let's go to the others. Please put on your mute. Okay. So now, if you go to user, you can see who are all having access for your Salesforce application. If it is you, in your name, you can see you are a system administrator. So if you want to enable the knowledge article, first go to that user, click on edit. Then click on knowledge user. It means this user will have the permission to create the knowledge article. So enable it and save the record. Okay. This is the very first step you have to do. Second step, go to setup, type knowledge. You have option called knowledge settings. Go here and enable the knowledge settings. You have to edit and enable here. By default, you will see many configurations here. As of now, just keep these tick boxes active, enable the lightning knowledge article. Rest of the things, leave it as it is. And maybe you can put the field here. In my case, what I have done is I just put the subject. Suppose if a case received with a subject like Amazon Business or Amazon Prime, immediately whatever the knowledge article I have, it will pop up. Similarly, if you want to go with the case reasons, you can select. This is like help you to give the suggested articles based on the data you receive from the case. Okay. Just keep this thing as it is and save the record. Once you save that, then you will be able to see the object called knowledge article in that application. Here you can create your knowledge article. Amazon Prime. We are just creating the articles to help the customer care group. As a Salesforce admin, we will be doing this. We will help them to create the article. And once you have created here, you can go to the case and you can see. I think I had to publish that article. I think if you don't publish, I think it will not come here. No, it is not coming. Let me go back and publish it. Yes. Publish. Okay, have published it now. Now let's try. See, now it is coming. So that's it. Simply go to the user, enable knowledge, go to the knowledge share settings, enable the and do your configuration accordingly. Then go to the object and create the knowledge article. Any doubt how to create the knowledge article? Okay. Next, let's see how we can configure web to case. Okay, and for that, go to again setup. Type web to case. Under service, you can see web to case. Enable it first. Then you can select the response from here. Okay, the response means we are receiving some response, right? Whenever we create the case, the response is nothing but the email templates. This email template is something you can create, even you can create your own email template, or you can use the existing template. What if you have to create a new template? Again, go to setup. Type email template. See guys, whatever you do, whatever the configuration you do, everything you will be doing only here. Setup. Email template. Either you can choose classic or the lightning, sorry, classic email template. Here you can create a new template. It can be text version, HTML version, Visualforce version. It's up to you in what version you want. If you want to add some graphics, go with HTML. Click on next. If you want to send an email, make yourself click available for use so that you can use this template. Here you can edit that. You can edit the header properties. You can put the logo, or you can put the body color. You can put your text. Everything you can do here. All right. This is a kind of letterheads, but for a simple email, what you can do is just go and create a text. You can Whatever you type in the email body, it will be saved, and you can use this as the email template, the subject, the code and all. And one thing what you have to make sure is you click on available for use, so that the email template will comes when you browse and select the folder. Similarly, if you want to make use of any Salesforce object fields, select the object here, and the corresponding fields will be appear here. You just copy that and you can use that in the template. So what will happen, it will dynamically pick the data and put here, whatever the record you have a reference. Okay, it's a very simple and straightforward creating the email template. Again, you have to go to the setup. Now come to the web2 form, web2 case. You can use the existing template, or you can select the your new template you have done. Click save, then go to web2 case HTML generator. Select the fields you want from the case. What are the case you want to display? Only these fields will be available generally, and by default we don't need that. The reCAPTCHA is something like you will see like I'm not a robot, reCAPTCHA, right? If you want, you can enable. If you don't want, you can disable it. You can mention the website, it has to redirect. In our case, what I have done is AJ Scale Development. And click on generate. You will be generated the form. Just click that form and copy it. This is the script, guys. Either you can use the script, you can put it in your website, or you can use the notepad. In the notepad, you can put and save the notepad as .html. That web2 case.html. Just put like HTML. What will happen? Immediately it will save like a HTML file. You can go to the place and open the record. You will see the web2 case. The form will open. Now you can enter the data and give the data, and it will be created as the case. Okay, this is how you can create the web2 case form. Any doubt? How to go,
Yes,
where to go, and how to create? Yes, tell me.
Ashok, yeah, this one. So we have two options, right? Like classic email template and lightning email template, but you
Yes.
selected classic email template.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because lightning email template just enable the templates you are using in a classic. It's not like in lightning we have a special template and kind of design and all.
Okay.
You have a classic template. If you want to make use of the classic template, just go and enable here.
Okay, got it.
Okay, fine. Any other queries, guys?
No, Ashok.
Okay. Now let's see how we can create an email to case and how we can configure that. This is quite interesting actually. Let's go to the setup. Type email to case. Under service, you have email to case. Here you have to configure your email. Actually, email to case, if you open that by default, it will not be enabled. You have to enable that. There are two options available in terms of email to case. One is using the on-demand email to case, or using the email to case agent. In general, most of the business prefer on-demand email to case, because this will be like how we are using that. I have given a short demo, right? Like that. Of course, it will be creating the case and all, but what is the difference is, you can find the difference here. If it is an on-demand email to case, it has some limitation, like it will not allow more than 25 MB of data, and the email traffic is within outside your network firewalls. It means whatever the email you send, the Salesforce will handle that email. Suppose if you use email to case agent, you have to download an special software. Download and install that, and that will behind your network file wall, and it will allow more than 25 MB of data. It has many difference. Okay, in our case, we are going to work on demand email to case. It means you're going to configure your email ID. For example, in our case, what I have done is I'm using an email ID, my just Gmail email ID. I'm configured that Gmail email ID for email to case. If you want to configure new email ID, just click on new, give the name and give your email address. Then by default, suppose if you receive an email from that, receive an email for that email box, to whom we have to assign that, either the user or the queue. Queue, something we will see now. So you can choose the user, you can choose the medium, high or low, because there are some critical email ID like support email ID. What we will do, whenever you receive the email, send an email to the support email ID, people will treat that as a high. If you want to do that kind of configuration, you can do that here. Similarly, the origin, always it is going to be a phone or email. Once you enter the data and configure that, a unique email ID is service address is generated for you. Okay, what you have to do is you have to copy this and go to your email client. In my case, if it is Gmail, go to Gmail. You have to copy that, go to settings. In settings, you have to forward all your emails to this generated one. You have an option called forward and pop map, right? Click that. And here, forward a copy of incoming email. You can put like, add a forwarding address. Next. Okay, if I done this, my email setup will gone. I will show you other one. See, forward a copy of incoming email to this email address. Once you have forwarded it, what will happen? All the emails you receive for this inbox will be forwarded to this email address, which means automatically the email you receive will be captured within the Salesforce. It's like you are configuring your email address within Salesforce. The Salesforce will give you a temporary kind of email address. You will copy this address, you will go to your email client or email service provider, and you will tell them you will be forwarding the copy of email address. In order to do that, actually you have to do a verification step. Once you select this and give this address, it will ask you to verify that. That is something you can do that. Once you verify that, you will see an option called verification. This is something you can directly go here and configure that, or else what you can do is go to service setup. Here itself, you will find an option called quickly set up your email to case. It's getting loaded. See, connect your support email. Just go here, select start, select the Gmail option, enter your email address. And just simply follow the steps. Here itself, you can configure the form and all. Then connect with your Gmail. Just follow the steps. It will be get connected. Once it get connected, if you go to this page, you will see like this. It is get verified and this. So whenever we send an email to this particular email ID, automatically the email will be forwarded to this email address. Once it will forward to this email address, the Salesforce will understand and will assign this to the I mean, the case will be created accordingly how we have configured that. Okay, this is how you have to configure your email to case. Any doubt in configuration? People?
Can we select email to case instead of email to case? Okay, case settings, both email and call.
Sorry, email and call. What is that?
Yeah. Okay. If you go to the case settings, like we have to create new and email address, right? Then we update the case owner, case priority, and case.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. In case settings, can we update both email and call? We have three options, right? Phone.
Origin.
Email.
Yeah, that is the case origin, like email,
Yeah.
web, phone.
Yeah. So is it possible to select two, like phone and email?
No, the origin can be only one. If you're going to configure, right, it is like you have seen that, right? It was a pick list. Either you can
Yes,
choose as a
yes.
phone, you can choose as a email, or you can choose as a web.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Guys, any other doubt in email to case? Next, we are going to see about the priority. Like I have shown you some example, like if it is a technical case, it is going to the technical person. If it is a business email, it is going to the business person. We are going to see how the assignment is happening. Any doubt so far? All right. So generally, go to setup. You have option called queue. Queue is the general concept, non-relevant to only Service Cloud. Queue means it helps you to assign the user in some order. For example, here I have created a queue called business team. Go here and click on new. You give your label and you can select the objects. It can be any of it. No need it should only be case. It can be any object. And you can select the users who are all should be in that queue. And click on save. In my case, what I have done is I created a queue for a case object. And I have assigned the following users. So whenever I receive a case, that case will go into this queue based on the priority I assign. Once you created the queue, now go to assignment rules. Case assignment rule. What I have done is I created a new assignment rule called support team. Just click on new and you can create the enter. It will ask you to enter the assignment rule name. Just click that and activate that. That's it. Once you created that, it will ask you to create the rule entries. What are the rule entries? See, if you look at here, I have created the entry called if the case reason is installation or equipment. One more entry, case reason is equal. If it is case reason is installation, I will assign this to some particular user. If you look at here I have option called selecting the reason. I'm selecting the reason as installation. If it is an installation, it should go to the queue called technical team. Here I am mentioning that. And similarly, email template. Whenever the technical team is assigned, an email should be sent to the technical team saying that you have received an email or you have received a case. That email template is something you can configure or you can use the existing one. Any email template. Okay. Similarly, I'm creating one more rule called rule number 2. Whenever the case is created with the reason as feedback, assign that case to the business team. Similarly, the business team will receive an email template. That's it. So what we have done is we have created the queue, technical and business. Then based on some condition, we are assigning that case to the respective queue. That rule criteria are something we can define in the assignment rules. Okay. Here you have an order, like whenever you receive the case, first this rule criteria. I mean, if you have multiple criteria, which criteria should follow and which criteria should execute first. Here you can mention that in order 1, 2, or you can mention like 2, 3. So based on the order, it will get assigned and it will get executed. Now, I show you how it works again, guys. For example, I'm having a Web2 form. Basically, this Web2 form is hosted in my website. But in our case, for just a testing purpose, we are directly using this form. I go to the case. Now I'm creating a form. I'm creating a contact with Ashok Tech. Ashok.aj@outlook.com. Give some random phone number. And I'm selecting the case as installation. So if I'm selecting the installation, what will happen? It will be routed to the installation queue. It means it will get assigned to the first queue, which is a technical team, based on my assignment rule and based on my queue. I'm submitting the record. It will go and it will assign the record and the case will be created. We go to the case. It will be assigned to the technical team. See, I think it is not viewed here. Here it is received. Right. Similarly, if you submit the case for business, it will be assigned to the business, and the business people will be notified. Who are within the queue will get notified with that. If you go back and see inbox. As a technical team, they will be receiving an email. See. That based on the template we have chosen. In my case, I have choose the template like opportunity. That's why I have received this template. All right. So what we have seen today is all about the Service Cloud. In Service Cloud, as I mentioned earlier, it's a vast area, guys. Service Cloud is a vast area. To become a Service Cloud consultant, you have to go through many things like this, but you will be doing no coding in Service Cloud. All these things will be like this only, like click, drag, drop, copy, paste things. We have seen about case, knowledge article, queue, assignment, email to case, web to case, and email templates today. If you want to know more about the Service Cloud, I would suggest go with the Trailheads. In Trailheads, you have plenty of materials about Service Cloud. Actually, there are some job openings available, especially only for Service Cloud consultants. The consultants are nothing but this is what the consultant do: how to configure the email to case, web to case, how to configure the knowledge article, how to configure the omni-channel, assignment rule. This is what they will be doing. Even if you go and check the Naukri, there are plenty of job opportunities available only for the Service Cloud consultant. They will not doing any kind of coding. All that what they will do is they just do this kind of configuration. All right. So this class is all about giving you a good idea of Service Cloud and how the Service Cloud is being utilized by the business to help their customers, and how we as a Salesforce developer or a Salesforce consultant help the business to configure their things like this. So I would suggest go ahead and check for the trials. Maybe I will also share you the Trailhead links, which helps you to configure and to know more about the Service Cloud. There are many channels available, guys, phone to email, even the chat you can configure, everything you can configure, but all that what you have to do is just know the steps. If you have done that one time, you will be remembered that forever. Okay. I have shared you the Trailhead link, and I will be sharing you the case studies for Service Cloud. Go through the Trailhead, complete that whenever you get a time. But as a beginner, if you're in an entry level, what I have seen taught you today, like email to case, web to case, it is good enough for the entry level position. But if you want to go into more detail, I would suggest to go with this trials. And if you come up with any queries or if you need any clarification while doing the trials, please let me know. All right. Any doubt so far from today's class? I will be sharing the case studies. You can do that. Anyone? Any query? Any doubt?
No, sir.
I hope it is clear because nothing much coding involved. Everything is a configuration. But I would suggest what I have done today. I would suggest you to go and do it today itself, so that you will not forget that easily. Try with the email to case, web to case, and assignment rules and queues. All right. Okay, guys, and I will be sharing you when we will have the next online session in the corresponding WhatsApp group. Okay, we'll see that. I will share you, upload this video in the drive, and I will let you all know. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining today's class. We'll see the next class. Yes.
Is it possible for you to review my case studies today evening?
Sorry?
For you. Case studies from
Yes,
1 to 4. Yeah, I almost completed, but I have few doubts, which I have to talk in phone. I cannot send in WhatsApp. So
okay,
is it possible
we will
for you to
touch base on that in private. Like, guys, similarly, if you have completed your case studies, if you want me to review your case studies, please let me know in private. Because maybe we can find some time and we can review that. Because if you do that in session time, right, it will consume others' time as well. So what I would suggest is ping me in private, and what and all doubt you have, ping me in private, and we will sit one-to-one and we can review that. Is that fine? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Fine.
Yeah. But evening, is it possible for you? Like today evening for you?
I will let you know, Lada. I will let you know.
Okay.
You just send me your availability and your doubt. Okay, I will ping you.
Actually, it's already 11:15 in the night, so I don't want to extend more. So
Sorry?
it's already 11:15 here. So I
Okay,
don't want to
fine. We will
extend.
connect in the evening. My evening we can connect. For you,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
morning, right? We can connect.
8. I mean, for you, it will be 7:30 in the evening. So
We will do that.
Yeah. Let me know after 6 p.m. or after 7:30 p.m. your time when you will be available. So
yes. I will let you know. I will ping you in private. Okay. Fine.
Sure.
Anybody have any doubt? All right. Thank you all. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Sure.